your world. Lepoi, the biggest song in the country, one of my personal favorites.
Look, this song is playing on repeat. I just need to say it because the other day, Nero mana tota re kante music o mongwa ga ithea ro ratang king is also on Apple Music. But this one is on there.
Yes, I've got it. Look, I've got it. I got it straight on Apple. ATI, thank you so much. Welcome to Gabz FM, man. I don't know. The one time we called you on the show and we're celebrating because we're bumping last week. We're bumping some of your music, that was nice. and we're just celebrating you. And we know that you're very vocal about your journey. Yeah. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing, you are who you are. How have you been?
Well, I mean, I've been good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying I've been good because I'm here today. You know what I'm saying? Because when you battle with a lot, you know. More especially when you battle with a lot, and you seem to just interrupt your journey sometimes when you just see how asleep people are at times. You know what I'm saying? Amidst what they say they vouch for, which is longevity and self-sovereignty in their lives, and you kind of like have a hint as to where is unnecessary for us to go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I'm a hermit. I'm in my alone zone. I'm trying to heal. I'm still battling drugs like any other day. You know what I'm saying? But it's better than yesterday because you know what I'm saying. At least the world had to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's not as hectic as trying to heal a monster such as a drug over a very busy schedule. You know what I'm saying? So now my schedule is just working out and thinking ideas and music. Just that.
Off air, before we got on air, we had been saying to the thing about battling some of the things that you're telling us that you're struggling with, as long as you don't stop trying to get up. I mean that, and you seem like you're not allowing all the noise that's the external noise to keep you down. Yes, you're transparent. Yes, you're struggling, but you keep trying, and it's better than Motoelo has just given up and completely said, you know what, it is what it is. I am who I am. I'm not going to keep trying to be better. Now, concerning today's show and our conversation with you, I asked some people, I said, we're having ATI in studio today. What do you want to know? And there were so many questions. I'm going to say, let me just start with this one.
Petty ones for that matter.
But the people want to know. People want to know.
Look, I think also before we go, look, I think I respect more the fact that, people in social media always portray their good side.
Yes.
I want to post a bad picture.
Photoshop.
Why do you do that? Why are you so free with your challenges and what you're going through? Why?
I don't know, man. Like, I looking back now, looking at some of the challenges that I've had, when even as far as back in junior school, like what people are only starting to experience now, I think I've gotten like prior training of it. You know what I'm saying? I've always been daring. I could just get on stage and I'd get booed off. And I've always had this mechanism of just recovering from it emotionally. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? But it built up to a point whereby I think it started surfacing through maybe drug use, because I mean, it's very funny when you're on a lighter note of life. It's easy to say I could never do that. That's just too beneath me. You know what I'm saying? I could never mingle with such and such. But sometimes life will kick you to the curve to a point whereby you got no other means but just to have to swallow your words and have to learn the lesson of humility through what it is that you shunned. And it's usually how the universe works or God works. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that you point a finger at or you laugh off and feel like you're better off, you're better than, it's probably what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You might be dealing with addiction through food. You might be dealing with addiction through social media. And with social media, we're just talking about this in the car. With social media, it's so bad because a lot of people are addicted and they don't know that they are.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Because the same kind of dopamine that I try to get to feel whenever I do drugs is the same kind that people get.
Yeah, true story.
From the likes.
Yeah, the reward system is still the same. The same gland that I get my reward hormone from doing drugs is the very same kind that one gets whenever they see their likes go up. You know what I'm saying? And with me, I think my ugly side is what has kept me alive today. You know what I'm saying? Be it the mistakes that I've made. I think just me being humble about it and being honest with myself, and no matter how uncomfortable it is, to have your ego die, to have your ego. But I have an ego. I have an ego that protects me from people that I don't have to necessarily deal with. Some people will push you to the edge, huh? But me, my ego, I think I try to keep it in check so that it's not just about how people should see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just how far you can have access into my life, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays a lot of people with corona, a lot of people feel entitled to people's earnings because we've made mistakes of allowing people that are toxic in our lives, and instead of learning from those lessons, it's like we're starting to drown with those toxic people because toxic people don't want to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cannot have a person who now every day when I'm at home, I always feel bad. I'm always twisting and turning, researching how can I survive this predicament that I'm in. How can I increase my willpower? Because at the end of the day, I can go to rehab and come back. I cannot run away from the drug. I need to control what I have, what I can put my hands on, and that the only thing that I can have control over is myself and how I respond to the drug. The drug is just too powerful. You know what I'm saying? The power is beyond. But a little old me can say, hey, little old you, wait, chill out, bruh.
Look, we're going to the BBC Minute. We continue this conversation. We're going to talk about 2020 because 2020 was a crazy year, and you were all over the newspapers and everything. We're going to talk about that. We can't let that one slide.
Okay.
World Gabz FM.
It's Gabz FM, power to engage a world. Let's bring the conversation on air.
Okay.
Let's speak about your calling. This is a question that somebody specifically asked me to ask you. How are you've got a calling ora young, and have you tried to find out more about it? Are there things that you do now that you know that you've got the calling?
And what's your calling?
Yeah, what is it?
Look, because ATI, I mean, you're a powerful brand. We saw what happened in 2020 where people rallied behind you. They follow you. And that's power that requires responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of power that requires responsibility. So what is your calling?
Well, I mean, all of us have a calling, and callings are not how people define callings to be. This whole charade of it being about talking to spirits and whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think the simplest way of understanding that you have a calling is recognizing the need to heal. You know what I'm saying? Because an unhealed individual, basically in layman's terms, basically means that the inability to hear your true wants and needs, the inability to express yourself. Now it's through this recalibration that people call a calling that one gets to understand and observe things that they were unable to observe. Like for example, in a day, like I look at the birds. The way the birds behave can tell you what kind of a day it's going to be. The numbers, synchronicities, you know what I'm saying? Like the world always talks to you in so many ways. And even timing. There are certain days in a year when whatever you communicate just blows out of proportion, or it reaches the masses. You know what I'm saying? And that's usually around June. Anybody who says anything in June gets to spread the message wide across. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe in God?
Well, I believe in love. I don't believe in language.
So you don't believe in God? You believe in...
Do you believe in Badimo? Is it God? Is it one being?
Yeah. Which God?
The thing with language is it's all ritualistic. When I use English is a language that's derived from people who created it in introspect of portraying a certain way of communication. You know what I'm saying? For example, when I look at the color green, we might say it's green because I see it as green. Maybe you see red and it's green, and that's all you've ever seen. I don't know, you get me? The color green, I see the color green and it's red in your eyes, but every time you see it, it's green because that's what brings us together. So the only thing that I believe in is a vibration of love. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to tell me you love me for me to know I'm loved. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be told I'm unwanted for me to finally get the hint I want. But that's the thing. We're so concerned about what others believe in so much that we're losing the actual process or the actual act of believing. Believing cannot be discussed. It can only be experienced. Same applies to life. You know what I'm saying? Same applies to how contradictory it is, how the president wants to rely on as a nation to rely on a vaccination, and we never learn. You know what I'm saying?
Would you take the vaccine if it came?
No, I'd never take the vaccine.
You're not for it?
I'm not for it because the very same people that want to give us the vaccine are the people with a history of taking the most from us. You're talking about economies that have so much. You're talking about economies that are powerful but have no minerals. You know what I'm saying? And I would understand why they would want to wipe out people who own minerals like we do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would bamboozle people to actually thinking that there's something that's going on. And the war has long begun. The time I got my addiction going on. You know what I'm saying? The war is on your consciousness and you need to discern. To discern is basically to just do your simple math. 1 + 1 is this. And you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
And sorry, Sam. How addiction? Look, I got into drugs because I lost my father. And I was just going through a pain that I didn't understand. Crowd, wrong crowd. How did you fall into drugs? Was it the music? Was it the creative scene? How did you find yourself that shucks or I'm addicted?
I wanted to be able to keep quiet. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to just live within the fires of what I know to be true. And I'm not talking about statistics here. I'm not talking about what I hear in the news. I'm talking about truth. Truth is not like a fact. You know, a fact is factual because majority rules. You know what I'm saying? But truth doesn't abide by how you feel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So since I had truth, my truth, you know what I'm saying, ranging from either who I want to be intimate with, ranging from what I'd like to say to the president, ranging from what I'd like to say to my mother, ranging from what I'd really
so
like to...
So they kept you
quiet.
They
kept me together for a certain amount of time, you know, because you're talking about concentration drugs that kind of take your energy and they focus it in. You know, I hate to say spirituality, but when I became aware beyond my 5 senses, you know, that's when it really became just so difficult for me to just keep on doing drugs and just being okay and being able to function. Trust me, I was able to pull it off so well to a point whereby, I don't know, I think I would have been one of the richest artists by now had spirit not intervened, because, you know, the drugs just weren't meant for my DNA template, because, you know, they just burned me to the soul. And it's not even like whenever I do drugs, like, and I'm around people, I can't even stand to be either complimented, because I know it's being aroused. Like, these compliments are being aroused by a false or a fictitious energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I know very well. You know what I'm saying? To just energy. You know, that's why a lot of people might think sometimes I'm positive. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not being positive towards myself and all I say is positive, it tends to create an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Because now what do? You have a trail of all these kids that believe in you and think it's done like this, and then the next thing, when the truth about you comes out, it's like, what did you just do to my childhood?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like I gotta be transparent about everything that I do. You know what I'm saying?
So that you're not pretending to be something that you're not.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like using the president as an example whenever I refer to myself, because I'm a citizen. He's a leader. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's dealing with, whatever that makes him think like the answer lies outside of himself or outside of us as a nation, he needs to do his own level of healing, because I can imagine him being a child from a minister. Our president was a child of a minister, and I know how these our parents can be, how they raise their kids, more especially if you're a minister. You want your children to be overachievers, and that thing speaks a different kind of a language to a child. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're seeing with the president even right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're seeing with ATI right now. You know what I'm saying? These emotional imbalances. You know, people aren't greedy because they're bad people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that they thinking out of their logic, conditioning, or when a program that they've been given by parents due to lack of a better way of raising kids. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to go to the heart, because the heart has intelligence and it has emotion. Yeah.
Wow.
So 2020 June, we saw you posting a very controversial live video. We le hoya maha di shop where rekisang dikoloi close to a mall that's close to us here, and you had a lot of things to say. You seemed frustrated,
and the narrative was changed. You know, a lot of people assumed that you are trying to do this or trying to do that, or how Naboto. Would like to hear from him.
What were you trying to accomplish from going to stand in front of that shop, from also you going to the State House, because you went there and there was an arrest and everything, but what is it that you were trying to communicate? Certain people said this and this. We want to find out from you what it is that you were trying to accomplish with what happened.
I just wanted people to just react the way they reacted, just so that they go back and they reflect on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so quick to assume on a lot of things. You know, somebody tells us our lives are in danger, we take it as truth. Somebody says one of your own is a drug addict, is a junkie, we take it as it is. We don't sit back and actually ask ourselves, what's our input in the situation? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to look at it like, ooh, that's him. You know, they take it as an act of rebellion. This kid went to somebody's private property.
They don't look for the root.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wanted people to actually know how poor they are. You know what I'm saying? And if you think they've been poor, they're about to, hey, what's going on right now? We allow the KB mahatsa mangwe I don't worry, batho ba bulegile ditlhaloganya gona le ka ha batswana ba thophang gore ba robala ka teng. Government o tshwantse gore a ba tlhalosa gore a ka KB le tswalana jana le jana, and this is before go nna intense yana, and e go ile ha o ka lebella go itse conditioning program, and I don't blame anybody. That's why after a couple of months down the line, the very same thing so say gene ke sekhala I be go bata gore ba se portray in a way it's kind of like subtle. And when I tell you the wheel of fortune is turning, it's turning, you know, and it's turning, and it's gonna start moving. It's gonna start moving, you know.
Let's look to the future, and we're going to ask ATI what the future holds. But before we do that, let me ask you a random question.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with your father?
With my father? Well, my relationship with my father is just like any other, you know, if you understand your relationship with your dad, that's how my relationship is with my father. You know what I'm saying?
Are you guys close?
Well, I mean, we're close enough to be far enough.
Okay.
What does that mean? What exactly does that mean?
It's like bygones being bygones. You know what I'm saying? Forgiving and forgetting and appreciating, you know, the fact that, you know, I've been given a life and I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? But I don't stall on pain because.
So is it a painful chapter that relationship? And it's okay if you don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But is it a painful thing? Because, look, I don't know if you have heard of the terminology. Fatherhood has such a huge impact on drug addiction, what we do, who we become. And a lot of the challenges that we face as men, it's not easy being a man. You got to provide. Everybody thinks you're this perfect guy. I mean, I can understand ATI. Everybody expects your best.
Yeah.
Every day. Whether you're having a good day or bad day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and inherently, the most important thing right now, of which is the wheel of fortune is about to stop. With all this conditioning, wanting to be so good enough, we sell ourselves short. You know what I'm saying? Like Juana, I don't know what cost is gonna come at for us to have a few individuals by where they've been programmed that way to want to be the best, sacrificing the majority. And the majority, I'm talking about people who've been getting by and not really getting by, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So we tell
let's take a call. We missed that. So sorry, let's talk about your future. What do you see? Where's 2021, 2022? Can we expect more music? What is ATI planning? What can we look forward to?
Let's get this caller. Gabz FM, you're live on air.
Good day, Samantha.
Ray Gibson, welcome.
As much as whatever he says, which is quite correct and relevant to what is happening on the ground. In future, at the Helaka, a bold strategy that can speak to an ordinary Motswana, because look here, all the issues that are before us. The Utsote has been crying about economy. If this economy was in our hands, we could have long produced our own vaccine.
Okay.
Clinical trials. But because they don't do that. So all these things, what he was saying is correct. And I think in future, you need to sit down, come up with a better strategy. Hello, Kutoka Tuso. I've already suggested to him, I can just help them to come up with a proper strategy that can speak to an ordinary person.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray Gibson. Gabz FM, you're live on air.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yeah, well, OT.
Kenale mataga OT. It's over Morata blind.
ATI, the man who believes in himself and have confidence in his ability.
Wow.
Uba so do say no I don't Motswana ko gae o mo reditse ke do tse di toucha or di pa go lo eno ka hello or no sa se buang ke se na le boamaro umpeno na go re nka bua na ga yone ya di vaccine mo ilong go ithelelo ro gate go ka nna ta go tswa go ka nna ta go kentwa batho ba le gongwe 20% da ba bo ro lebella gore 20% go tswa bo ma o da ithelelo ke ma ise whenever ba go teng ke ba essential workers ga di whenever ba bona ga mo le ba parliament le minister lona ba ileng gore lona le batswana ba go teng ke ba ke lona le ta bona mora so sa bothoko la tha ba bona go ntse.
Thank you, OT.
Gabz FM, you're live.
Let me quote him in one of the videos that enlightened my life. He said, Batswana are so disenfranchised to the extent that when you talk economic recovery, they don't even know what you're talking about.
Powerful.
Sure. Yeah.
That is the truth, nothing else.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Otherwise, it's all about me this time around.
My rapper. I'll give out the number. Sam.
Because my one I saw to go India, the farmer di strike. And I thought, that's what racist in now one. And I can imagine why why we need to address khanya bodada. Whether we like it or not, because this is the only place we have as home. And my life is the only life that I have of my own this time around, and I don't want to joke about it. Now I fight with truth, spirit, and optimism.
Yeah,
politicians use masorelema podis, but no matter how illogical it is, it does not stop people from understanding that a brighter and a better, more humanly way of living is very much possible.
Yeah.
Vaccine, you need to understand the fight is on your consciousness. Whether there is a disease or there isn't a disease, corona. Do you know what that's the reality that you're going to experience?
Or believe. And when you look at what is communicated in the news, it's only negative. It's only negative.
Yeah.
And what's happening? We tell a lot by experience a depression, and then how we are in the end times, because in the end times doesn't necessarily mean it's the end times. It's the time where you as a nation need to wake up and take strides into your own hands. If you think you're going to experience any level of peace without taking a risk as a nation, as a people, and putting aside your ego, we need to stand really more. Because it's another thing for somebody to say the next thing me before I die the level of intelligence nobody can touch it, nobody can silence it. But I can physically die. But it's not even death, it's a rebirth, it's a transformation. It's not a competition. We all have that thing. And it's not a competition. Whether my brother is lighter than me, I'm darker than my brother, it doesn't matter. Whether I have a small penis or a big penis, it doesn't matter. Those are the things that I use to segregate people. I'm serious here. Bigger buttocks, smaller buttocks. We need to be realistic. Our country is falling into Moisho. And we long fell into the pits as a continent. And now I am telling you, there is nothing that could ever go right when people think alike. We are different for a reason. That's why the ocean is the way it is. That's why we are able, and I tell you, that's why when you cook food, because you are inherently gifted with those receptors that can dissect what that means. And even in these times, as you are told you are sick and you don't take the time to ask yourself because you are so addicted to news, we are breaking generational curses. We need to break the cycle of fear.
What would the future? Any new music coming?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing some Reiki thing who did the vibration way. Good
vibration.
Kidney le pillow. I bear a trick. How hey, reality TV.
Okay. Shout out to you. I told you we need to do a Valentine's feature.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Date ATI or go out on a date
ATI.
with
Come on, girl. Come on, boy.
ATI and have 12 episodes. Let's cancel idea alone.
We got it. You better write it down.
12 episodes and have 12 ladies in one house. Coordinator, okay, check away. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I hope, but I'm allowed to fornicate with them.
My goodness.
Okay.
None of
fine.
that.
We'll
No
just keep it.
fornication, no drugs.
Okay, fine.
Well, thank you so much, Ati. We wish you the best, and we wish you the best as Swift and Sam.
Yes.
And we hope that your music, your message gets out there. And with whatever you do, you got to do everything responsibly.
Yes.
We may not understand everything, okay?
That's why
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for us not to understand. There must be misunderstanding in order for there to be understanding.
Wow.
And we got nothing but love for you. Keep on doing what you're doing. And what else? That's it.
Much love from us. We see the phone lines, but Nakoe Chaile.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you so much for telling me about your story, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get cleaned up so that I can represent the young people properly. I can soberly do it.
Are you starting a political party?
Well, I've been thinking about it, but wait, it's so serious, man. Every day I do drugs, I'm like, goddamn, there's a future at stake here. You know what I'm saying? If we're not gonna do it, like
Thank you.
Thank you.
The views and
Oh, you have to.
We have to say that
Uncle, thank you so much. Sure. I got unemployment. You have to work out. Why? I know no, relax. Most everybody is smart. You need to work out body. But yeah, no, don't do very good body. Yeah, nyale, how old are you? 26. Oh, no, what about you? How about the law? So wa batla la tela ngwanya no le me ano ga re tse tshwana le so I want that go la re lata wena go ya go ruta le tso sekgo a wa okay ya no wa go ruta le tso sekgo o mo advisor ngwanya na approach ya ngwa bona go tsena le wo mo pella wa wa mo pe go re o mo ruta ra tsena le go pella this one is go ya go nna monna then so ra o tsana ga go re o in le numen
I don't know for 20 minutes.
No, get out edit. It's all. Hey, man, I want to do it. I want to something wrong. Hey, I want to share example. Hey, no, be a marpa. Hey, example. I go. Example, what I go here. Only here, shop way. Hey, Lamon. Ya keep up na ba you have been ban kila go se ma so ka go ma se mmere tsamla ka intshwala gore ba go dile mara me Saturday we are on abe no go itse go sumetse